might be why I'm in therapy.
Hey, everybody needs therapy sometimes.
Everybody in this house is in therapy. Honestly, our cat should be in therapy at this point.
All right, let me kick this sucker off. Let me sound like I'm awake. And you can keep that in if we want to. Welcome to Just Trust Me, the marketing podcast that calls out the winning and wily ways of today's marketing. So many wilies. I think I said that last time. I'm your host, Rachel Moore, and as always, in the cahoots with my, today my one fellow marketer. We have two, but I have two co-hosts typically, but today I'm joined by Elizabeth Allen.
Hello. Yes, we have been ghosted by Tanya today.
That she's
but
going to come
you were
in.
almost ghosted by me because I totally forgot we were recording until about 10 minutes ago. So,
And this is so ironic because I was on someone else's podcast / live stream today talking about, and it's so important to be consistent with podcasts and you need to build that muscle. It's like working out where you miss it if you don't do it. I literally was late to this too. I was like, so y'all, it happens. It happens. But yeah, Tanya is out living her best life, but she might join us. She might not, but we're going to maintain, because I know, and Elizabeth, just speaking really quick, I know we have you this week, but we won't have you on the next episode, next couple of episodes, because you'll be living your best life.
I will be. Yes. I know I mentioned it briefly in our last episode, but I will be going to Ireland and then doing a Beatles pilgrimage in England. So I will be out the next 2 weeks.
So sad.
I will miss you all, but not that much.
Yeah, and we really can't ask you to record with us because, let's see, by that time it'll be 5:30 p.m. Eastern, and 7 hours later, that's midnight 30. So you're not going to be recording the podcast from the overseas.
It does not seem fun for anybody, and I've always been that person who, when I travel, like, I do not bring my laptop, baby. So,
Good girl.
not happening. Yep.
Good. Excellent. No, well, we'll want to hear all about everything you did. And I'm sure you're going to see marketing while you're over there, which will be interesting, but don't think about that. You should totally be unplugged. So I'm not going to pressure you with like, yeah, come back and do all that.
But my marketer brain will always pay attention to those. So,
like,
I can't promise
Well, while
anything.
you're there, we're not talking about this today, but while you're there, keep an eye out for Super Mac, because that was something we potentially were going to talk about today, but we're not. But apparently that's the Big Mac that's allowed to be called Super Mac over there now, and McDonald's can't do anything about it. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're going to talk about some of these marketing-y things. And when I say we, I think Elizabeth's going to be doing a lot of the talking, because at least 2 out of these 3 things she's going to know more about and will fill me in, and then I will react appropriately, and you all can be like, ooh, and maybe you'll react too. So we're going to talk about Target, Ulta, and Kylie cosmetics from a marketing standpoint. I'm curious about that one. And as someone who wears makeup and likes to buy it often, yes, curious. We're going to ask the question, good marketing about don't be a Drake. I'm coming in cold turkey on that one too. So probably one of the few who is, but we'll definitely get filled on that. And then of course, for the end, we'll go over we got how at least one of the 2 of us fell for wily marketing. What did we fall for in this last week? So as we get going, let's just jump right into and like I said, I'm going to turn this over to you, Elizabeth. Target and Ulta and Kylie cosmetics, what is going on here?
All right. So as most people know, a lot of Targets have an Ulta within the Target, right? It's a limited collection, but it is an Ulta sectioned off in Target. And I remember when it first came out, I was so excited because I'm a Target bitch and I'm an Ulta bitch, baby. So
That's right.
I was super excited, but they have limited shelf space. They have limited, floor plan, whatever. What they put in there is very important because they can't have everything you would potentially have in an Ulta. So recently, Target teased this little advertisement, and what the image was a Target basket, like the traditional red Target basket that we all know and love, and it had like pink dripping down it, right? So everybody is like, what is this? Some people thought it was like a collaboration with Crumble Cookies was one thing people were thinking about. Some people were just excited, like, are we just getting pink Target baskets? Because we're thrilled about that, right? And it was a beautiful pink. And then it came out that it was a collaboration with Target and Ulta and Kylie Cosmetics, Kylie Jenner's brand. So all of the cosmetic girlies, all of the makeup girlies were like, no, this is not what we asked for. First of all, we have so much limited shelf space in the Ulta section at Target. We want the brands that we care about. Like that's like Fenty, Patrick Ta. There's a lot of the brands that you don't really see necessarily at Ulta. That's what we want. And you're taking up this room with fucking Kylie. Like, again, as
Mm.
a, born and bred makeup girly, I fully agree with this. Kylie had her one hit with the stupid lip kits that actually dried the hell out of your lips. Nobody actually who knew makeup or liked makeup liked them. I think a lot of it was people who had bought into the Kardashian Jenner brand who were like, oh, I
Yeah.
have to have that. But they were garbage, right? So Target got obliterated for this decision, especially for how they announced it. So I feel, as somebody who's in the Target market, in the makeup market, it was a bad move
Mhm.
because honestly, when you see that the number of people who saw this ad were hoping it was just pink baskets, that alone tells you, first of all, the Kylie branding isn't as good as she thinks it is, right? So she thought
Mhm.
that drip down, which, like, if you've seen the Kylie lip kits, you've seen that drip down, but nobody was associating it with Kylie. People, again, were associating it with like Crumble, or somebody said
Yeah.
Sprinkles, which is a cupcake brand. Nobody was associating it with Kylie Cosmetics. So her branding isn't strong enough to be doing that kind of marketing, right? And a lot of people are just mad. And I think it's so funny. This is like a Schadenfreude type of thing. Like, I love when brands think, like, this is it, we're killing it. That we're gonna, we're getting in this like big name brand and everybody's gonna go crazy. And the reaction is the exact opposite, which is what happened in this case. And
Mhm.
I just think that's something really funny. And I wish some more marketers were more aware of the social quotient that some of these brands have, right? So if you were a
Mhm.
really good marketer, you would know, because I know that Kylie Cosmetics is not beloved anymore. Anything associated with the Kardashian Jenner clan, yes, of course, you'll get the big fans,
Yeah.
right? But the majority of the population is so tired of these people. So making that one of the cornerstones and making a big announcement of this collaboration,
Mhm.
nobody's going to care about it. And in fact, it's going to hurt Target's, brand. It's going to hit
Yeah.
her Ulta's brand. And now ultimately, I mean, if Kylie's brand can be hurt anymore, it's going to hurt Kylie's brand. It's been interesting seeing the Kardashian brand in general, Kardashian slash Jenner brand in general, take the dive it's taken, where
Yeah.
so few people are interested in them
Yeah.
and people are not buying them as they are. And the thing that sucks is, again, there are so many brands with Ulta that people would love to, like, if Rare Beauty, Selena Gomez's brand, was at Ulta, I'd be fucking psyched, right?
Yeah.
It's a great brand. Their liquid blushes are mwah, beautiful, chef's kiss. Have those available at Ulta so I can just kind of pick one up while I'm like running out of the store. That would be awesome. And instead,
Yeah.
you're putting a brand into your store that literally very few people care about. But you watch it when they try to make it a thing and it does the opposite, which is what I love seeing here.
Well, and that just feels very we didn't read the room. I do recall this
Mhm.
now. I remember seeing those images of the drippiness, and immediately I'm like, okay, donut, ice cream cone, what's going on here? It just felt like melting. Which, okay, I'm just gonna point this out too. Again, people can do whatever they want. Last thing I want is my makeup melting off. So what a dumb visual anyway. I'm just giving that again where I'm like, and like I said, I know exactly what products I like to get from the Ulta area in my Target. And gone to Sephora, but I don't browse. I go strictly on referral and recommendations from you and other people. I'm
Yep.
like, nope, I don't want to go try to figure it out. I just want to go find what I need. Maybe if I'm in a makeup store, yes, I see that. But if it's outside of that environment or outside of that square footage, I'm gonna be like melting. What? But
That's a
yeah,
really
it
good
sounds
point.
like they did not read the room and just tried to capitalize. And maybe it was like they were trying to go for like Well, any publicity is good publicity,
Ugh.
even if it's seen negatively, and this is not like a winning product with the target market that it's for. But yeah, it sounds like you're probably representing a lot of people who have their spend their purchasing power on cosmetics and just like, no, thank you very much.
Mhm. You know what? When you were talking about that any publicity is good publicity thing, like that's something I feel like we could dedicate an entire episode to, several episodes to, because I don't necessarily agree
Mhm.
in marketing. I feel like most people in marketing know that that's like
Yeah.
not necessarily the greatest. And I will tell you, my Target only recently got an Ulta. My Target
Yeah.
recently renovated, and so we got an Ulta and we got a Starbucks. We didn't have those before, which was very exciting. But I fully agree with you. When I'm going to the Ulta at Target, I know precisely what's there and I'm going for it, right? Like they have their collection of The Ordinary, which is where I get my lactic acid, which my skin fucking loves. So I can't not have it on hand. It's really
Mhm.
convenient that I can now get it at Target. And then you have this separate section, which is like the regular Target section, which is like ColourPop, Milani, Makeup Revolution. Those are the things that I know are always there. And I'm thinking of them. I agree with you. I am not browsing really the Ulta section because I know it's very regimented about who
Yeah.
has purchased shelf space there. When I go to Ulta, I will browse all day long. You know, I go out of my way to a very particular Ulta, probably about 15 minutes away from me, as opposed to the one that's about 10 minutes away from me because it's a better Ulta. I will spend time doing that. I'm not doing that at Target because I'm also buying like fucking garbage bags and, you know, tissues or whatever. When you're going to Target, you're having a very different shopping experience.
Yeah.
And for a brand that's not necessarily beloved, it was at one point. I'm going to totally give that to Kylie. Like at one point, those
Sure.
stupid lip kits were very beloved. Um, Looking back on it, I think a lot of people were trying to convince themselves of something about the quality of those lip
Mhm.
kits. And I totally agree with you that the branding is so bad. Like, you're talking about a liquid lip. The whole point is that it's supposed to stay on my fucking face for the entire goddamn day. And instead, you're telling me, like, watch your makeup melt off your face, which we've all had that experience, right?
All
Hot
have.
summer day. So to use that as never even thought of that. This is why you're the marketing genius because I never even thought of that. That's trouble branding. Like, why would you anyway? So
They were like, "It's
honestly, that might be why
tasty."
I never even used the brand because subconsciously I was like, I don't want my makeup to melt off my face.
I know, it's
Um,
just like maybe they're like, "It's tasty, go for the nummies," instead of like, "Oh, I want it to like lip stay, color
like we want
stay."
it to stay on our face like a fucking tattoo. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it's really interesting. Kylie Cosmetics, I've never got the feeling over the last several years that like they're even doing well at Ulta.
Mm,
So why this brand? Why making this giant announcement? They did not do this giant announcement for any other brand really that I've ever
mm,
seen, at least when
interesting.
the Ulta in Target added a new brand.
Yeah.
But like Kylie Cosmetics is also just a bad choice. Again, Rare Beauty would have been Rhode. People love Rhode, which is the
Mhm.
Baldwin, whatever. The girl who married the Baldwin.
Oh god, I'm not gonna be able to help you with this.
Yeah, anyway. Or not
Someone
the
else.
girl who married the Baldwin who married the Justin Bieber, who married Justin Bieber. I feel like I'm an olds right now. Okay, I'm sorry.
Some of our listeners are going yelling at the, "Ah, yes!"
Exactly, exactly.
Gonna look
And
it
I'm
up now.
sorry, Baldwin will always be Alec Baldwin, so I don't know who all these other people are you're talking to me about. But anyway,
I'm gonna look at it up.
yeah. So it's not a great choice for Target. It wasn't a good choice for Ulta. And then Kylie Cosmetics got all of the backlash of people being like, Kylie Cosmetics fucking sucks. Nobody wants this shit. And so
Yeah,
now they have that in all of their social media, like all the comments. It was just a bad choice all around.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Like,
No, it's
no,
good.
that's not what we wanted. Like you said, read the room.
Yeah.
The Kardashian Jenner family is not beloved as they once were. We're kind of seeing, you know, the man behind the curtain type of thing. Most people aren't excited to buy those brands. Also, like they were never really that good.
2
So
things, you're not winning.
exactly. So of all companies, this is the one that you make a big fucking deal about. And the number of people, again, the number of people I saw in the comments who are like, I would have just been excited about pink baskets. That alone is like, Wow, you could have just done that.
I know, right?
Like,
Just give me a little bit of flair while I'm
just a
shopping
pink
through.
basket would have been fun for like a month or something. Like, no.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a big miss on their part. I do hail the glory of having, again, Target is genius. I mean, it really is like that. I'm going to buy a toothbrush and you come out $200 later. I mean, I'll
Every
just
fucking time.
my husband doesn't listen to this podcast, but when I go to Target to get a non-makeup thing, I absolutely go get a makeup thing and then check out. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I got what we needed. And I don't get queried about it. And then I have more makeup. And so I love that. And because instead, he's a Target charge. Yeah, that's norm. Where unless I went to like a Sephora separately or an Ulta store, it'd be like, really? Do you need
I
more
see this
makeup?
Ulta charge. Yeah. What did you
Hmm.
have to do there? And it was like,
Genius.
I was buying, seltzer or whatever at Target. My favorite thing about that though is when you go there for one stupid thing like paper towels and then you walk out with $180 worth of things and you didn't buy the paper towels. That's what
Oh,
I do. Yeah.
yes. You walk in, you glaze over, and you're just like, "Oh, Disneyland. I'm in the Willy Wonka experience." And well, it's not that. It's way better. They should have just used that for the Willy Wonka experience. Be like, come in, candy aisle right there, makeup aisle right there, makeup that smells like chocolate, which is my favorite thing about Too Faced. But anywho, but that was excellent. Thank you as always. We post obviously this podcast goes out, but this episode will have a landing page with a comment section on our website. But wait, there's more. So please go visit that because I'm sure many of you would like to opine on this as well as tell us your favorite makeup. We definitely want to hear that.
Always.
So we're gonna take a break real quick and we'll be right back. You don't know what you don't know to kick off your business podcast, but I do. That's right. I'm Rachel Has the Mic, and I know how to launch, build, and succeed with business podcasts. Let me tell you what I know to get your podcast out of your head, onto the feeds, and into people's earbuds. Get started by visiting butwaitthere'smore.com. That's www.butwaitthere'smore.com. And we're back. Now we're going to tackle a new segment this season and probably into perpetuity because it's a great question. Good marketing, again, up talk. So you indicate that there's a question there. And if you're someone who up talks all the time, please stop. But I know, sorry, people are up talking. Are you telling me to stop up talking? Does it sound like I'm asking a question all the time? Little pet peeve of mine. Anywho, good marketing. And again, Elizabeth, you are going to school me on this. I've intended many times to educate myself or at least find a scholarly person who knows about this whole thing. I just know Kendrick and Drake, and I know Oops, and that's all I got. But the question is good marketing, don't be a Drake. So,
Don't be
what
a
are we
Drake.
talking about in relation to this pretty recent, very trending, on everyone's lips kind of thing? Fill us in, and what is it? We'll talk about if it's good marketing or not.
All right, so I will fully admit that I have spent the last month trying to also get to the core of what happened between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. And it's not easy, right? And honestly, from what I've been able to gather, a lot of it was very surface level and silly, and then it just kind of avalanched from there. So basically, Drake and Kendrick Lamar have been going at it back and forth with a rap battle. And they clearly don't like each other, which is fine. The issue is that Kendrick Lamar came way correct compared to Drake. Kendrick Lamar had fucking receipts, okay? So you
Mm,
listen to Kendrick Lamar's songs about Drake, and a lot of them are accusing him of really hardcore things. And some people are like, maybe that's not true. My argument is you would not open yourself up to a lawsuit if you didn't
mm,
have the receipts and know exactly what was going on. Also, you wouldn't just do this for a rap battle for fun and shits and giggles if there wasn't
yeah.
something underlying the reality of what he was accusing Drake of, which is basically kind of like pedophilia and grooming, right? So
Oh my
it
goodness.
started yeah, it started off pretty innocent, going back and forth. And then basically Kendrick Lamar came back and was basically like, you're a fucking pedophile. You're a fucking groomer. I know it. I have the receipts.
Mm.
So crazy, right? And The funny part is Kendrick Lamar is by far the better lyrical artist and poet and rapper than Drake is. Drake also is kind of in general seen as kind of like a clown in this space. You know, he doesn't have a great reputation. He's kind of been
Yeah.
a clown this entire time. He has a kid that he kind of denies, but then like this kid exists. It's a whole weird thing. So the Rutherford County Library System recently came out with a campaign that said, "Don't be a Drake, get a library card." And they had the picture of Drake and they had the picture of Kendrick Lamar. And the bullet points are: improve your creative writing skills, expand vocabulary, free access to recording studios, and explore hoopla for new music. And basically, the whole point was Kendrick Lamar is clearly the better lyricist, rapper,
Hmm.
writer, poet than Drake is. Drake embarrassed himself in this rap battle. If you have this library card, then you can have the vocabulary and the just literary knowledge to beat somebody in a rap battle. And we've talked about this before. We talked about it last week with the whole Canva cringe,
Yeah. Yeah.
Hamilton rap thing, the Canva create
Mm.
thing. Is this a try hard moment? You know, is this like a library trying so desperately to sound topical and relevant that they're pushing this in? I will say, for me, it depends on the company itself and the type of company.
Mm.
For a library, I think this is fucking genius because it's not a brand itself.
Right.
I mean, a library can be a brand, but like it's not really a brand. You don't see a board of directors sitting there and being like, let's try to get the kids interested in this. Like a library is just genuinely, it's a handful. And I know the people who run library social media
Right.
accounts. They're just trying to get people's attention. And they usually are the people who are actually paying attention to a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
So for me, this is a good comparison to what we were talking about last week with the Canva Create rap thing, as opposed to this. I think this is more organic and fun, and there's a little bit of play with this. Obviously it's not a giant brand that's like, I'm going to put all my money to trying to get the kids to like me. It's
Right.
probably one social media manager who probably makes less than a librarian makes, and a
Or
librarian makes like
volunteer.
$50,000 a year, and they need a master's. FYI, you need a
Yeah.
master's and you make like $50,000 a year. So this is probably one social media manager who is like, this is something I'm interested in. And maybe some people currently will be interested in this. I will say they did it right where they did it right as it was happening, because
Right.
we see this a lot where brands are doing this shit, but like 4 weeks too late.
They come
And
back and
it's
forth
so
too,
embarrassing.
and yeah, ricocheting off each other and making everybody
Exactly.
roll their eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Rachel, I want to know, what do you think? Is there a difference when a brand, quote unquote, like a library does this as opposed to when a more corporate brand does this kind of
I
thing?
I do think, like you said, consider the source. I absolutely do, and this drives a little bit back to what you said. Any publicity is good publicity, because I think Tanya, I think it was her that shared this in our Slack
Hmm.
channel, and someone had retweeted it with a cringy emoji, like. However, that's fine. You don't like it, that's fine. Maybe you are cringing at it. That library, damn it, needs all the attention it can get to let people know there even is a library. And particularly, and I know you and I both are on board with this, in this day and age, these dark days that we live in, where freaking librarians are being criminalized and persecuted just for offering the knowledge of books for free
Yes.
at their establishment as a city service, as a community service. Everyone there can just shut the fuck up, and I'll say that right now. But so I love it. Frankly, I do love it. I think, I mean, you're really in all the noise out there, and there was all the noise about Drake and Kendrick. I mean, like I said, I'm not schooled up on what exactly went down with them, but you just gave me the primer for it. But everyone was talking about it there, and we've seen this goes to something else that brands tend to do wrong, where they try to go hijack, or they try to let us insert ourselves into this discussion, and it's completely not relatable or related, and it's like, wow, big miss, embarrassing. And even if some people feel proxy embarrassment for this library, like, oh my god, I can't believe you entered the fray of this, power to you. I agree. I think power to you. You got eyeballs, and even just by a ripple effect of people saying, oh no, this ain't it, you're still getting attention for your library. And any attention we can get to
Exactly.
an institution and the people who work there who help us be smarter, more educated, and read better, and maybe, just maybe, lyricize a little bit better. Good. Great. So I'm going to call this is I'm firmly in the camp of good marketing here, even if some people think it's bad marketing. Nah, it was good marketing because now we're talking. You just said the name of a library. That would never cross my lips.
Exactly. And I think they got to the heart and the crux of the conversation that was happening surrounding the difference between Drake's responses and the difference between Kendrick Lamar's responses. And that came down to ability to use the language. That was such an important part of this argument. And for this library to really understand that, like, at the heart, that was the difference between how Kendrick Lamar was really coming out on top. I mean, besides the fact that, like, he was calling Drake a friggin' pedophile, he was coming out on top because his lyrics were so much smarter. His vocabulary was so much more interesting. The way he was expressing things was so much more interesting. And
Yeah.
how can you do that? You can do that by reading, by getting a better understanding of the English language, by expanding your
Mhm.
vocabulary. I thought that was really interesting and smart. It wasn't just like, hey, I mean, we're saying Drake's a pedophile or a groomer, and Kendrick Lamar isn't. So clearly Kendrick Lamar wins. It was about actually the words that were going into these responses that they were sending back and forth, and how
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar's were so much more interesting, to the point where they're like, this man won a friggin' what did he won, a Pulitzer? I think he won a Pulitzer. Is
Whoa.
Yeah, he is very talented and very knowledgeable about the English language and how to use it in really interesting ways. And so a library of all places is the place that I think would be like great to be like, you want to have this command of the English language? Kendrick Lamar is the person who's doing it. And if you want that, maybe seek your
Mhm.
local library and read more. And I think that was really interesting. So I do not agree that it was cringy. And I mean, maybe I understand kids will probably look at it and be like, it's a rap battle. And I don't know why the library had to throw themselves into the fray. But I thought it was really smart.
Agreed. Yeah, I
Yep,
I completely agree. I think, just trust me, we all agree this was good marketing because that library is gonna see nothing but good results from that. And
exactly.
so big time, and of course, again, we love libraries. We love books. We love books here. We love all the
We are
books,
library
and
people.
we're
Absolutely.
my daughter, I'm really proud of her. She's 15. She is so ready to enter the workforce, which I'm like, "Oh, girlfriend, slow down. Take naps." But she's not old enough. Nobody's going to hire her at 16, but she is volunteering at our city library. And she was just telling me last week, she goes, I didn't know they did all these other activities and things there. And some of them are super cool. And I was like, see, let's protect our libraries. And by all means, give them good traffic when they put out cool things on marketing that at least raise awareness that they're there for the public to consume. And on that, I will step off my soapbox. But
No,
yeah,
I fully agree, and I have to step now on my soapbox,
do
because
it.
not only the fact that a lot of times it's a place for homeless people to come and seek refuge every day to either get air conditioning or heat or just out of the elements. A lot of times they're doing this. The fact that a lot of these libraries now offer products for people to use. Like, if you need a weed
Hmm.
eater or something for your garden, they might have it. If you need a sump pump because your basement flooded, they might have it.
Yeah.
Like, I will forever be impressed. This is where I will tell you, I really wanted to become a librarian. I would say a handful of years ago, that was my goal. I was going to be a librarian. And I started to look into schools where I could get my master's degree in library sciences. Sadly, life makes it so that I can't afford to be a
Yeah.
librarian, which is very sad. It's like teachers. They should be
Yeah.
making so much more than they're actually ever making. And my household just couldn't survive on a librarian salary. Not only a librarian salary, but like me needing to pay for a master's to get
Hmm.
to that salary, which was already lower than I was making. So I will forever. I love librarians. When you see your local librarian, it is a thing of love that they are
Yeah,
doing because they're not
agreed.
making enough and they're dealing with a lot.
Yeah,
The community demands a lot out of them and they do provide a lot of services. So,
really do.
yeah, we are pro library on this
Pro
podcast.
library. Yes,
And if a library wants to pay me, $100,000 to be a librarian, I would be there in a second. But
she
sadly,
would.
again,
You
like
would.
teachers, we're just not paying these people enough for the services they're providing.
Agreed. Yep. Well, pro library and pro library entering the Kendrick and Drake fray as far as marketing. So excellent. We're calling that good marketing. And with that, we have one more segment with We Got. We'll be right back after the break. Hey Google, how do I create a marketing brief? Hey Siri, how do I customize my LinkedIn profile link? Hey ChatGPT, how do I get better at marketing? The answer is always the same. Subscribe to the But Wait, There's More YouTube channel. Get new videos every week to learn the fundamentals of great marketing, from tools and operations to concepts and creativity. And never forget data. But wait, there's more on YouTube right now. All right, we're back, and our final segment of the podcast is We Got. And Elizabeth, I'm going to pause here because I don't think I got this last week. I don't know that I purchased anything out
I
of the
got
norm.
got. I got, but like potentially.
Oh,
I just haven't purchased it yet, but I will purchase
is
it.
this your Facebook post? Because I saw that, so I know what you're going to get about.
Was it on Quarantine Cuties, our,
It was
our,
on
our makeup
Quarantine
page?
Cuties. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Tell
Yes.
us, you're about to get got. And I think that perfectly qualifies. If you know there is going to be a specific amount of money that you will be plunking down your card for a product, we can cover it. And you're about to get got. So what's getting you?
Okay, I got by Elf, which I love Elf. It's so funny when I think about Elf, like back in the day. Remember when they sold their products for like $1? Do you remember that?
Yes. I
Yes.
do remember that.
Yes, exactly. But they have become such an incredible brand. And I am obsessed with CC Camo Cream or Camo CC Cream. I forget what it's called. And they have like a regular version and then they have a hydrating version. And I've got by that several times. I have purchased the regular CC cream. Um, 20 times, I think probably. I love it so much. It's so good. It's
Whoa.
$8. It matches my skin beautifully. It's so great. So then when they came out with the hydrating version, like I'm a glowy girl, I'm not a matte girl. So like, I mean, as you can see, as we're looking at like the camera, like my skin is like we got a lot of glowy points.
I do.
I
You've got a
glowy
nice little,
makeup.
little glow there.
I got a little
Mm-hmm.
glow. So, I bought that immediately. And recently they came out with a foundation. So it's not a CC cream, it's a foundation and it's called Soft Glam. And it's supposed to be like a buildable medium coverage. And of course, immediately as I'm seeing the ads for it, I'm going into the comments to see who's talking about it. And it's a lot of women, I would say our age, who are like, it doesn't settle in fine lines. It's got a satin finish to it, which I also really like. I know sometimes like I go super dewy, but also I probably should go more satin because of my age and like just how my face is. So I am so freaking excited about this product. And I've seen so many people talk about it. Actually, I was planning on it this weekend. I'm going to buy it at Ulta or whatever. And then my sister told me they're only selling it on the Elf website. I found it on like the Amazon, but like through Elf selling it on Amazon. So I'll probably just do that because then I save the shipping or whatever. I'm just mad because I want it now. I want it in my hands now and I will use it. And the thing is, I am definitely, and makeup lovers will understand this, where you're like, kind of like, I'm in the market for a new foundation, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
love the Elf CC cream, but I feel like I'm in the market to try something new. So I am totally down with this. I am so excited. And I like that a lot of the people I see in the comments are talking about being like women in their 40s or 50s who have fine lines, which like my
Yeah.
face was not meant to be perfect, guys. It was going to do this. So I love the fact that so many of the people are talking about it are my age and that it's a satin finish. I don't like a matte finish. So I definitely want a satin finish or a dewy finish. I am
Yeah.
fully in, and it is $8. And this is why Elf fucking kills it. Elf complexion products are so incredible.
Mhm.
You could buy the Dior or NARS or whatever, it's $30. And you
Yeah.
know what? I'm totally the type of person where if a foundation is worth it, I will spend $30, $40. I have no problem doing that. If it's going to
Yeah.
make my skin look flawless, I'm happy to do it. But if I can do that for $8.
Mm.
So anyway, so Elf got me. And of course, it started as a thread from Trend Mood, who any of my makeup girlies will know Trend Mood very well. She posts on Instagram and she posts all of the new upcoming things. And I was immediately intrigued because I love their CC Camo Cream so much. So I'll report back, but I have a feeling I'm going to love it. I'm already like, I will give you my money right now. I'm mad that I don't have it in my hands right now, pretty much.
That's the best kind of product though. That's the good
Yeah.
marketing where you're like, and that's really cosmetics is so like that. It's not the only thing, obviously. I feel that too. I'm into false eyelashes in this stage of my life, magnetic ones and stuff, and like Glamnetic. I ordered something from Glamnetic and they said it delivered, but it hadn't. And like my stupid neighbor, I guess they had it. I don't know if they were out of town or whatever. They're dumb. We don't like them. They want this to be an HOA we live in, and it's not. They need to move. But
Ugh.
so yeah, they're that kind of neighbor. But I let them know, and they're like, "Give it a couple more days. Okay, we'll send you a replacement." And then that afternoon, the neighbor walked it over, and I was like, "Oh, so I got 2 sets of Glamnetic, which was nice." And they were super nice about it. But I couldn't wait because especially makeup. I would imagine. I should ask my daughter. She's an artist, but it's like when you're waiting for a new set of paints or a canvas that you're like, I want to try something,
Yes.
and you can't wait to have it in your hands so you can actually put it to work. And so I
Yes.
know I won't be able to see this on you for the next couple of weeks because you're going to be traveling, hopefully with your new foundation. But you definitely do need to report back because everything you're describing is like, I might need to try this too. Turning
Hey.
50 in December. So yes.
I know you look so good for 50. I fucking hate
Thank
you.
you.
Anyway,
Mwah.
but yeah. And okay, and then actually as we were talking, I had 2 more.
Yes, bring it.
Shaper Mint. Have you seen any of those ads?
Nay. Tell
They
me
might be
more.
very TikTok specific, but holy shit. So I got by Shaper Mint, and I've gotten got by Shaper Mint for probably a month now. So I bought 2 bodysuits from them and they are incredible. Like I'm wearing one right now and it like just cinches you in enough where you feel like,
Ooh.
and I like pressure. Like that's always my thing. I like feeling that. And I feel like everything fits just a little better. Nothing
Ooh.
crazy. It's not like getting into Spanx or something where you're fighting it, right?
Right.
So I got 2 bodysuits from them. Also, I bought 2 bras from them that I did not like and I returned, but they
Mhm.
have a 60-day return policy where they're like for any reason. And I swear to God, I wore that one bra for like 10 days. Like I wore it for a good amount of time. They're like, yep, we're good. We'll take it back. My issue with their bra was it like, so the cups came down and there was like a little bit of a liner that came down to try to smooth, right? But because of that, it would roll up under your arm. So I always felt like I had like a
Ah,
weird, like pinchy,
I
like you could
hate
see the
that.
sides of it. I didn't like that. So I returned that and I've since found a bra I really like. And so I bought those. But also, one of the purchases I made came with a pair of underwear that are
Ooh.
like shaping underwear, but like they're super comfortable and they're high waisted
Oh, love
and
those.
it was free.
Oh
I
my
loved it.
gosh.
So I am a Shaperman girly. I'll get that. And again, I think that was absolutely a TikTok like exclusive. And then Halara. Have you seen Halara?
Nope, you're my educator in this
See,
particular
this is
episode.
again a TikTok thing. Halara is huge on TikTok. And I will admit I have not purchased anything from Halara yet, but I got. I know it's just going to happen. It's a matter of time. They have some jumpsuits. They have some like really cute. They have a bunch of things. So they have long flowy skirts. They have short little tennis kind of skirts. They have jumpsuits. And I was telling Tanya there was one jumpsuit that I was like super interested in.
Yeah.
So it's only a matter of time. I will be giving them my money at some point. So
You're
you know
like,
what? I got all over the place for somebody who is unemployed and probably shouldn't be gotten got as much as I am.
but look, I mean, you only live once, and not to, be like,
Exactly. And
YOLA.
also I'm like doing the thing where I'm like, I'm going on vacation. I need to be comfortable
Mhm.
and cute, you know?
You do need to be comfortable and cute, and particularly, travel light, and you wanna go and enjoy that and stuff, but that's the nice thing about too, there's all, like, the referral marketing part of it. And again, by the way, we do have advertising space open on this podcast. So I'm just letting you all know that.
Hello.
But there's a serious factor to that. We are referring each other to stuff. We're bringing things up. Such a powerful way of marketing is
Hmm.
referral marketing, or,
Yeah.
recommendation marketing. And I'm way more likely to trust what you say. You've tried this. This works for you. And could work for me, hence I'm more inclined to try it. But also go feel good about yourself, and a lot of these things do bring us joy and happiness. So I
Yeah.
say treat yourself. So
Treat yourself. Yeah,
that's right.
exactly. So, I've had a few in the last week, but like they've all, with the exception of Halar, which I have not yet purchased, and the Elf, which I have not yet purchased, but I'm feeling confident about the Elf. I know I'm going to like that. I just know it. And honestly, Halara, I think I'm going to like it. So I will come back and tell you whether or not it was a bust or not. But the marketer in us, I feel like we know when something is a good product. You just can feel it in your bones whether or not you're going to like
Mm-hmm.
it. So I feel
Yes.
confident that these are for me.
I feel confident in your confidence. So I think it'll be awesome. And of course, yes, we can't wait to hear more. But as far as hearing more, we have reached the end of our recording time. And that's a wrap on another episode of the Just Trust Me Marketing podcast. But before we head out for the week, and before you head out literally to Ireland, the great country of Ireland, Elizabeth, where can people find and follow you just online? We don't want anyone following you to Ireland, but where can people find and follow you?
I mean, you can. I'll probably
Good
be
luck.
drinking some Bulmers, it'll be fun. So you can follow me at LinkedIn at Elizabeth Allen 1001. I'm on my 14th account on TikTok. And you know what? I'm just not giving it out anymore because I'm wondering if it's going to start to be an issue for
You're calling
me.
people out who are anti-library. I think you should keep doing that.
Yeah. I think the last time I mentioned my TikTok account, I was on number 13 and now I'm on number 14. And I feel like that's just going to continue into perpetuity.
Perpetuity. Love it. And obviously, we'll be joined next week with Tanya Ballard Brown, and she'll be on gracing me with her presence while you're overseas. You can find and follow me at Rachel Has the Mic, MIC, anywhere and everywhere. Please do also follow the podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at Just Trust Me Podcast. And it's anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast. If you like this podcast, subscribe so you don't miss an episode, because we do drop them every week. If you really liked us and leave us a review, because that's always good marketing. Always. And we'll catch you on the next episode of Just Trust Me. Bye, everybody.